Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Sochi. This is the Russian Grand Prix. This is Lights Out Racing or Alliant Motorsports Americas. We are bringing you Division 3.1 on this fine Tuesday evening. Thank you all for joining the stream. In the background, you hear the lovely noise of the Russian national anthem. In my opinion, one of the great works of musical masterpiece in the 20th century. I am joined, as always, by my good friend and buddy Nihai in the booth. How are you doing today, Nihai?
Doing well. Looking forward to another good race here in Division 3.
For sure. Do you have anything to say about music in general?
Can't say I've heard the Russian anthem too many times, and I still think America's is better.
Well, there you have it, and I can't argue too much about that. Although it is an interesting debate whether you go with the current national anthem. I know there's a number of people who prefer God Bless America as an alternative. But in any case, we have 16 minutes in qualifying to go, and we have our very first drivers setting their hot laps, starting with Botsfeld and the Haas. But Russia is a very interesting track. We had some brilliant racing on Sunday evening here in Division 3.2. The drivers in that division put on quite a show, and we can only hope that these guys in Division 3.1 can do the same for us today. As you can already see on the screen, track limits are very, very, very stringent around this track, and it can definitely catch you out. That's all the more crucial during qualifying, where drivers only will have really 3 opportunities to set a hot lap. So a banker lap, and then really you got to make those next 2 laps count if you really want to elevate your position up the field. And with all these sharp corners or 90-degree corners, high-speed corners that you have on this track, it's very, very easy to get outside of the track limits and disqualify your lap time. Do you have any experience around this track, Nia?
Not too much. I think it's been, well, I think especially for this division, it is one of the selected tracks that drivers chose. So I haven't raced on it too often, but I know for me personally, at least, turns 13 through 16, that sharp, more technical section at the end, right before the end of your lap, can catch you out quite often, and going wide in a couple of those corners can end in a DNF. So I think those will be the ones to watch out for these drivers, because you can lose a lot of time there through that last sector 3 time.
I definitely agree with you there. We're on board here with Luis Maya in the Williams. He has set purple sector 2 and is just approaching the very end. A little traffic up in front, but that should not bother him at all, as he only has one more corner to go. This last corner, it's so easy to lose the rear, and he goes wide, but does still manage to set the fastest lap. It's a 1:31.6, and that is a very nice time indeed, and something that the drivers behind will do their best to match. Let's look out here. Looks like Isotin in the black Mercedes going a bit wide, locking up his front left tire. That compromises his exit through the chicane. Turn 15 and 16, and he will do his best to counteract that setback and goes P6 now, as Big Poppy sets a 1:32 flat. So Louise already well ahead of the pack by, I believe that is about 4 tenths. And let's go on board with Allboy in the AlphaTauri Honda. Beautiful navy and white car with the red accents, as he goes a bit wide there, but is able through turn 5, but is able to not avoid track limits, which is good news for him. We'll go on board here with one of the drivers for a hot lap here during their second run. These first runs, these drivers are just really getting their feet wet, the track being familiar, so we won't probably see our best times right away, but that's all well and good, as Alboy does set a purple sector 2, so that is a very good start for him. Accounting for loss, one of our standout performers on Sunday is in the chat. Thanks for watching. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys. I think that I hear that kind of... Ooh! As Allboy does exactly as I say can happen, loses the rear coming out of the final corner, spins into the wall, but as luck has it, that start-finish straight is right at the exit of that corner, and he sets a 1.324, which sets him 4th overall, so what a lucky break for him, but a bit of disaster for the AlphaTauri team, and he will be both pleased and displeased with that. We'll see how well that time holds up through the rest of this qualifying session.
Yeah, really unlucky they're losing the rear end, but thankfully, as you said, he set a time, so we'll see where that places him. Should be able to hopefully stay in the top 10 with that.
All right, let's go on board here with Ramacron. This is his first race in Division 3.1. I expect good things out of him, locking up just a bit going through turn 4. Then it's flat out in a short braking zone, carrying as much speed as you dare. You can get on that AstroTurf, but it can compromise your traction. And you can just see how you're trying to carry as much speed as you can through these corners. Here's a tricky little left-hander. It continues left, getting onto the curb, unsettles the rear just a bit. And you have to get all the way back over to the left-hand side of the track and do the exact same thing again. AstroTurf is always lining on the outside of the exit curbs, which can help compromise traction. It's a long DRS, quote-unquote, straight with 2 turns. Turn 11, this is turn 12. It's a odd little braking zone. He locks up just a bit because you're turning left while braking, trying to brake in a straight line for a right-hander. And another tricky acceleration zone around the corner, left-hander. Then this is very important to carry. If you get it right, you can almost floor it through the second part of that chicane if you get over to the left-hand side of the track enough. Then it's all about getting these last 2 corners, not carrying it too far out. And then here, you just want to carry as much speed as you can, accelerate as much in a straight line, and a 131 flat. So very, very, very good time. I expect that from him. I expect him to win the race today unless anything horrific happens. And that is a 131 to set the new benchmark. Looks like Bottsville, the other Haas, has yet to set a lap with under 10 minutes to go now.
Yeah, just seeing, we just saw Alboy with that crash after the final corner, but in the chat he's saying I was doing my hot lap on regular fuel mix, gave it everything into the final turn, and crashed.
That's a bit of a rookie error, I must say. But very lucky you got that time in as you spun across the line. Pretty good time, still 6th fastest, so it was very, very fun to watch. Very fun to watch indeed, and I'm glad it worked out for you as Bottsville goes P8 with that lap. Well, I take that back. Is he just starting his hot lap now? Nope, he is not.
No,
so
that was his lap.
That was his lap. For some reason, it didn't show up as him using a tire. And I don't see... It looks like Enoch is the only driver on the hot lap at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like these drivers heading back to the pits. They'll discuss with their team what the strategy is for the fuel capacity for their next outlap, but they should be able to get at least another round in before the qualifying ends.
Looks like the track is allowing the drivers to carry up on that curb on the exit of turn 8. So that the drivers will probably be looking to take advantage of that. Any inch that you can go onto the curbs under these strict corner cutting regulations helps you out, carrying that just a few kilometers more speed. And really, Sector 3 is the trickiest part of the track. I think you can generally run a low downforce setup for Sectors 1 and 2, but Sector 3 can really catch you out just because it is rather technical and requires a good bit of rear downforce, and you want an extra one in the front or two. As Enoch goes a 131.9, so that is in 3rd position. Very good lap for him. And thank you very much, Zevo Viper, for the follow. You are the man. Appreciate that.
We are seeing some darker clouds overhead. I'm wondering if close to the end of qualifying if we'll see any rain, perhaps.
Go on board here with Luis Maya. He is just about to cross and we'll see how he does, if he's able to improve, and he does not. So he stays in P2 for now. And just looking down if there's anyone else on that. Looks like Jenkins is just about to cross the line, and he goes 8th fastest, improves by just a bit, going back to Isotin, who is just entering Sector 3. See if I can pull up any more.
I think Addy Striker might be on a hot lap as well.
There, pull up some lap data, and we will go to Addy Striker. Now, Addy Striker says he has a lap on those tires, so I'd be surprised if he is on one. Isotin does improve by half a second, but not enough to move up. Addy Striker disqualified his time, so he is not. Squidward is the last driver here. The friendly ghost goes a bit wide there in turn 18, and his time almost matches his time exactly to 5,000ths of a second. Stays in P14. Big Lovins, let's go to him. He has yet to set a time with less than 6 minutes on the clock, and he is just around Sector 1, around turn 3, which is one of the longest turns, I think, on the F1 calendar. It's a nearly flat-out 180-degree turn from start to finish that you can go side by side around. Exciting racing goes through there. So it's one of those rare, long, continuous turns that you sometimes see on an F1 circuit. But he seems to be taking quite well to this track. It'll be interesting to see if the weather deteriorates, whether these lap times, maybe set earlier in the day, will be faster than what you can set now as that track temperature does decrease. That does have an effect on the grip that these drivers will have on this soft compound tire. And 105 through Sector 2. And he's going to face a little bit of traffic here through Sector 3, which is not going to help him out with a bit of dirty air, but I think it's far enough ahead that it won't affect him all that much. It gets out of the way. Isotin moves out of the way in the Mercedes, and he just has 2 more corners to go. Getting up on that curb, entering into the braking zone on the curb again, trying to maximize that turn angle, and it's a 133 flat. Not as good as he would have hoped. That is only good enough for P10 at the moment. T-Boy's already 2/10 up in his Sector 1 time, setting purple, so this could be a track to keep an eye on. Now, losing the rear just a touch onto the curb, and that is enough to disqualify his time. That is very, very unfortunate. He was looking very, very good with that lap.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about through turns 14 through 16.
And
that section, catching quite a few drivers out.
Yes, indeed. Ramacron just entering that session himself, just missing. Well, I take that back. He is still yet to get through Sector 2, and he's approaching. Yep, and he disqualifies his time. You can just see you lose the rear just a bit, get a bit, just that touch of oversteer as you try to get that power down, and just the act of correcting the oversteer, trying to keep your car from going into the wall, sets you enough off of the track to disqualify your lap time. So he'll try to head into the pits with just over 3 minutes to go, and maybe get one more shot at this. Let's go on board here with Bottsville. Looks like Biggles has finished up at the bar, drained all their tequila, and maybe showing up here at the track. Finally, if he can make his way across the pit lane. You never know if he's capable of doing that, especially on a Tuesday night.
G'day, guys. Yep.
Yeah.
I had a little bit of immigration issue going through, the checkpoint in as I flew in here to Russia. You guys are obviously already up there in the commentary booth. I had a little bit of a glitch there. They didn't like the Vegemite I was trying to pass through customs. So
I can see why that is, I believe, considered a lethal weapon here in the United States, or at least a chemical weapon. Maybe is the legal term.
After much debating and shall we say over a few little vodka shots, we managed to resolve it. It was vodka shots.
They do very stringent body searches, in my experience.
So thank you very much for the Russian government letting me in there, although my Vegemite has been confiscated. So gladly I am back down on the trackside, and I'm going to try to pull up all the information and quickly bother Jeff and hassle Jeff a little bit and find out what's going on.
is Marmite an Australian thing as well, or is there something different?
Oh no, that's a British thing, I believe.
Oh, is that
so.
British?
Yeah.
You guys get bad ideas from each other, so
Don't go there. Don't go there. Yeah, we didn't kick them out, unfortunately, like you guys did. So we're stuck with them. Nah, I'm shut out. I do love the British. It's okay. I love the Americans. I love everybody. Come on, we're Australian.
All right, we go on board here with Perejner. 136 is his best time. See if he can improve. I think he's definitely being caught out by the track limits. As I'll follow him around. This will be his final lap. See if he can get off the back row. Both McLarens having a bit of a tough time this evening. And the Renaults as well. And the Mercedes, indeed. So all three of those teams are not nearly where they would like to be on the grid at the moment. I think a number of drivers will have just a bit of opportunity to improve. Looks like he's coming up to a bit of traffic here. Trying to see if there's anyone else here finishing up a hot lap that I can switch to, but does not appear so. Looks like we have a number of drivers in the chat cheering these boys on. Glad that they are doing so. They know how tough this track can be, and you can just tell from this onboard here how Perejner is trying not to disqualify his lap. We'll see if he's up at all on his previous time. Getting past, actually, well, maybe he gave up on it.
I think he was 5/10 up before that, a little run wide into turn 15. But that's not going to be enough since he's a good second back.
The Racing Point did pass him there, and he does not improve, so maybe he was saving up at the end there to set another hot lap.
So guys, because I was late, obviously, as I'd mentioned earlier, I wanted to see, because Nihai's here. What was your
we didn't have. We didn't. I know it's the name of a vodka in Russia, but
you didn't have one?
No. Sorry, it's my writing department demanded a raise, and wasn't able to provide it.
The joke writing department went on a strike.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to that. I was going to even replay it.
My apologies. Maybe I'll come up with one before the end of the race.
All right, so management, be aware there, as his contract might be up for review soon. So let's have a look at that. No. Without you, sir, there is no LOR. So
AMA, my friend.
AMA, yeah. Well,
there you go.
And you're so you're not racing this time around.
I don't race in Division 3, my friend.
You get a break. Oh, you're too quick for that, right?
Well, I don't say that, as Karen Smith improves by nearly a second and a half, moves up into P10. Great lap from him. Just squeaks out Big Lovins, who probably won't mind, actually. It's not too bad being P11, getting that free tire choice for the alternative strategy rather than P10. It works both ways. And I'm trying to see if there's anyone else on the hot lap right now. I do not think there is, so that will be the end of qualifying as we know it. Anyone? We will do our customary poll in the chat. When will that safety car come out? We had a virtual safety car last time, but overall, I don't think we had a safety. Did we have a safety car, or was there was one at the end? There was one at the end, I believe.
So yes. Alboy and I think Ascent for Lost there was calling out lap 1, Donut lap 2, Arcraft lap 9. You guys just throw them all out there right now.
Yes. Well, there was a safety car. Well, there was a safety. I just wanted to clarify to the viewers. There was a safety car on Sunday because Biggles threw out some nails and took out Zoe, I believe, in the AlphaTauri, causing the safety car to come out. So
that was beer cans.
We'll watch. We'll try to keep them contained in the booth here tonight.
I do have a bit of trivia for you if you can do it. It wasn't Formula One, but I believe it was either IndyCar or any sort of the racing you guys have over there in the States. But there was somebody that had managed to steal a safety car during a race, and they had to basically form a blockade to try to slow the safety car down and get the guy out.
What country was this?
The United States.
Oh, that's Florida.
I don't know. I'm just throwing the trivia out there, but it has occurred.
Dan says he thinks that was NASCAR, not IndyCar.
NASCAR. Perhaps you're right. Yeah.
That
NASCAR
sounds like
uses a
something
pretty
And believe it wasn't me.
Corvette.
So,
I think they use a Corvette.
Yeah.
Or a Camaro, depending, which is a pretty
Yeah, it
neat
was-
car to steal.
so that has happened before. But anyway, he is your qualifying grid.
Am I not pronouncing? Is it Zoe? Maybe I'm
Or do not say Zoe. It's Zay.
No. I'm not talking about Zay.
Oh.
There's a separate driver named Zoe, I believe. I could be wrong. Oh, it's a pace car. They don't
it's a pace car.
They don't call it the safety car. We are very ignorant here in the booth. Ramacron by quite handily 0.8 of a second, taking P1. Louise Maya in the Williams is P2. Addy Stryker, Big Poppy are the next on the second row. Shiv, Enoch, Alboy, Earl Jenkins, Botville, Karen Smith are the top 10. Very, very tight there between those top 5 drivers. And then dropping down from that, Big Love and Squidward, Tibor, Iseton, Bob, SP, Blue Cow, and a few other drivers are in the bottom 10. They'll get free tire choice. We will be back in 1 moment with the Russian Grand Prix. Stay tuned.
And also, when you are in Russia.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the race. We are in Sochi once again for this is the Russian Grand Prix. I couldn't be even more excited to be here. I can't wait. Hopefully this race will dish up even more than we'd had on Sunday. Look at the track, 3.6 miles long, 5.8 kilometers if you're not an American. 2 DRS zones, a little bit of elevation change in Sector 3, you can see in Turn 15 and Turn 18. But overall, it's basically almost a street circuit in design. It is not meant to be this way, but those tight track limits will definitely force the drivers to stay on track. Don't want to accumulate as many time penalties as you might. No one wants to get that FedEx penalty point champion of the race this evening. We have 19 drivers on the grid. The sky does look sunny here at race time, and these drivers are on their formation lap. They can't wait to get up ready to go as the Russian flag flies over this track here in southern Russia. I am joined in the booth by Nihai and also by Biggles. How are you guys doing? What do you expect to see in this race today?
Doing well. Hopefully not seeing a safety car for the first couple of laps. Hopefully we can see someone put the challenge to Ramakon up front. We saw him in qualifying a good almost second ahead of everybody else. So we'll see if Louise and Addy Stryker maybe can put the pressure on him.
For sure. I know some of the viewers might have caught a bit of rambling from Biggles before we cut to commercial there after qualifying. He not exactly sure what was going on. The paramedics had to come in and do some work. I think they hooked up the machine and gave a few shocks, but I think he's back up and ready to go.
They actually like pumping me the injection with an IV drip of vodka, I believe. That's waking me up, I think it might be working.
I didn't know that was allowed, if I'm honest. In any case.
In Russia, it's very allowed, sir. In Russia, IV drops are made of vodka, sir.
Well, yes. As it looks like the final drivers are rounding the final 2 turns. What do you mean, Zay? We can't say your name.
Yeah, spell out the phonetics so we can stop messing it up, I guess.
No, I wasn't mispronouncing her name as far as I'm aware. Tell me if I'm wrong. But we'll move away from that for the moment as the Russian Grand Prix is about to start. And here we go. We have 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And away we go, away we race. Great jump there by Ramakron. Big Poppy in the Ferrari is already on him as well. We have a Red Bull into the wall and an AlphaTauri is collected with him. We have a complete mayhem in the back. Both AlphaTauris are out of this race. Well, An AlphaTauri's out of the race, and a Ferrari, and a safety car before we even get to turn 1. That was some incredible...
Addy Striker there, and T-Boy, and also Squidward as going to, well, T-Boy and Squidward, a game over for them. Addy Striker was the other Red Bull that was involved in that collision from the start there, obviously with safety car conditions. And yes, the predictions have come true for a lot of the driver safety car lap 1.
And it looks like there's some confusion at the front. Who should be leading this race? Looks like Luis Maya is currently in the lead, I believe. And Ramacron, who started P1, I believe has a broken wing. Everyone's going very, very slowly. Everyone's getting 5-second penalties. No one knows what is going on. Everyone stopped on track. This could get quite interesting. I think they finally have figured it out amongst themselves. Game trying to provide some illegal overtakes to everybody. And safety car in turn 1. Let's see if I have a replay available. I may or may not. Let me see.
Oh, you tell me you didn't want me to jump in the safety car right now? Oops, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm brake checking these
trying to attempt a replay, but it does not appear to be working.
It's not working at the moment, so yeah.
Oh, well.
Oh, I got to plug in the cable. Which one, the red or the green? I always forget.
Must have selected the wrong button here. I'm trying to... they do say I'm technologically inept, which is definitely possible.
I don't think so. I think that...
that didn't work either.
Yeah. Maybe the KGB's playing around with the stream at the moment, just making sure that you're not trying to give any sensitive information, being an American citizen.
Let me... I apologize to the viewers. I need to double-check my setup here in one moment. While we're during safety car, I will take the opportunity to do so. But
so the Cold War.
Bagels, can you look through the chat and see who won our guess?
Sure, sir.
Excellent.
The guess for the safety car?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, I had to refresh. Sorry, I was getting some technical glitches.
I can check. Yeah. So our winners for that are going to be Alboy, ACT for loss, and Alboy almost got it right. He said turn 2, but we didn't even get there. But
so
yeah,
close, so close.
So close, yeah. Almost there.
Wow. Almost heartbreaking as I am trying.
But yeah, on that start, I think it was Addy Striker that went a little wide on the AstroTurf and then lost traction and kind of spun and went sideways into everyone behind him. Because I think he was in third.
The Red Bull...
kind of a chain effect of everyone running into the back of everyone else.
Yeah, perhaps he didn't realize that the Winter Olympics were over here in Russia, and skiing into the barriers is not something that you want to do on a dry race in a Formula One car. I had to give my bad pun for the day. That's my first.
That was pretty dry. No, but we just saw, I think, Luis almost... I don't know if the safety car is going slower than normal, but he almost just ran into the back of the safety car. So, Biggles, you got to watch out behind you.
Oh, yeah, hang on. I'm trying to, drink vodka and drive at the same... Wait, what? I shouldn't be doing that. Oh, sorry, there is definitely no vodka in the safety car at the moment. Yes.
I have fixed our replay issues. Unfortunately, I don't have that replay saved, so for any future action, we will definitely keep that. And yes, it was Addy Striker who lost the car on the AstroTurf, pushed just a bit wide there as I believe Big Poppy was trying to go 3 wide. And
yeah, I think because the Addy's I think it was just that wheel spin that occurs generally when you're these drivers are excited off the line. A little bit of wheel spin and unfortunately into the barrier, and then therefore as well makes other drivers have to react, and therefore you get that domino effect.
For sure, that is not what we wanted to see, but just a bit of a mistake there by the by the Red Bull. And you can just see with that close packed set of drivers, that mistake quickly cascades down with quite horrific consequences to two of our drivers. Both the T-Boy and Squidward were innocent bystanders in that bit of mayhem. And unfortunately, that's somehow times the way it goes, where one person up front leads to people paying a heavy price of it further back down the line.
Yeah, just a bit of an update on positions lost while we're under the safety car. But we had Ramacron leading the race, of course. He's down in 4th, losing 3 positions, I think with a little bit of damage to his front wing. And then Addy Striker, of course, kind of starting that whole mess at the start. And then Alboy again, he was unlucky in qualifying and spinning out in the final corner and DNFing in qualifying. He also gets taken out and loses 10 positions. So he's having a really unlucky weekend.
So it looks like Ramacron does not have an issue with his front wing at the moment. Let's see if the safety car comes in this lap. We would all hope so, obviously. Let's go on board here with Louise. It looks like it does. So Biggles is going to go back into the pit lane. And we will be going green in one moment. Let's go on board here with Ramacron. He should have a great view here. He will be most definitely keen to make out those positions which he lost at the start of this race. They're weaving back and forth, trying to keep their tires a bit warm. Softs is too hard to do, and they're slowly crawling through turn 19. Obviously, you basically have to accelerate right out of this corner because the start-finish line is right there, and Ramacron does not get a good start. Let's go on board here with Shiv, who also isn't as ideal. Big Poppy might have a chance here, but looks like that won't happen. So Blue Cow, Blue Cow is side by side with the Renault of Han as they go down the back straight. As Blue Cow has the inside line into the braking zone, locks up just a bit, but is unable to hold on to that position. Han stays ahead currently. Let's go on board with Shiv, who's caught back right on up with Big Poppy.
Yeah, I was about to say exactly. Shiv, the only remaining Red Bull. Actually, no, sorry, Addy Striker still remained there after the spin. But yeah, Shiv, really close right now to Big Puppy. Does not want to get a red wing colliding with the red Ferrari.
And Bob Banis, the Renault, is into the wall, was looking to attempt a move on Addy Striker, it looks like, and he has spun out already. So he is losing 2 positions. Let's go on board here with Addy Striker, who looks like 3 drivers here. Allboy, Addy Striker, and Periginator are all right on each other's tail. We'll see if Addy Striker can get a move done at this moment. He has to wait just a bit through this down.
Oh, and Ramacron might be ready to take a move on Shiv, and he does. It looks like Shiv actually ghosted a little bit. What's happening towards the Haas driver of it looks like Karen Smith there. Lots of action up there. P4, P5, P6, P7.
Ramacron is still behind Shiv, so that dirty air hurting him. T-Boy leaving the session, though he is already retired from this race. A quick end to his evening, unfortunately. And we have Ramacron setting the fastest lap of the race on this first lap, not under safety car. And it looks like this battle between these 3 drivers could heat up. Shiv trying to take a bit of a look, unable to do so. Let's move down to Addy Striker, who is side by side with Periginator down the long straight. Here they go, both drivers full out. You can see them, one slightly going ahead of the other, and a bit of a cut of the corner by Addy Striker, who still manages to keep the position. And Allboy then goes past Periginator himself. So a little bit of an awkward move there. Addy Striker not trying to risk any type of contact, which you might have seen at the very beginning of this race, maybe a bit gun shy or jelly-legged as you call it in baseball. But Ramacron now is right back on Shiv.
Oh, you mean baseball as in like the fake cricket?
I thought cricket was was basically baseball for people who didn't have a job.
I'll tell you what. What is the second most popular sport in the world?
Probably cricket, unfortunately, but that doesn't. What does that tell you?
I dropped the mic. I rest my case, Your Honor. No, I have nothing bad against baseball. Oh, it looks like the Haas driver has something bad against the Renault driver, and that's. I'm not sure you've seen the same telemetry as you guys.
I think you are looking at the wrong telemetry.
Yeah. Oops.
You're hacking as usual.
We're in Singapore, right? Are we
No.
in Singapore? No, I'm only kidding.
I was worried that crack on the head that you got when the medics had to come in to help you out might have caused more damage than before. But Addy Striker and Bottsville are right behind one another. Allboy also in the fight with DRS, but Bottsville has DRS on the Renault in front, and he has DRS on the Mercedes in front as well. So a bit of a train here, but a pretty good exit here by Addy Striker. See if he can get that done, moving out of the dirty air, hoping to carry a bit more speed through this long left-hander, but unable to make any type of impression on the gap for the moment. All these drivers are going to have to drive nearly perfectly in order to get past it. It looks like Addy Striker does get that good exit, and that is because I do believe he has softs while Bottsville in front has hards. So interesting tire strategy by Bottsville. I don't know if he pitted under safety car trying to make hards last to the end of the race. In any case, there is a bit of a tire difference here, and that could help. Obviously, he being held up is allowing Allboy behind to get involved in the fight, and Bottsville side by side with Han, and Addy Striker trying to get him in front, but has to lift as there's a bit of weaving back and forth between the drivers. Han going quite deep into the wall, and that is a virtual save. Let's see here. I surely can need to save that replay. Let's go to the replay.
That was, looks like that was a brake failure.
Going back to the replay here, weaving back and forth, Bottsville and Han, trying to get position. Maybe a bit of a touch there on the rear of Bottsville's tires. Into the braking zone, Han completely misses any type of brake, and poof, look at that, right into the wall. That is a great bit of replay. Well job by Bottsville to avoid that contact, but what a crazy bit. Brakes failure can be the only answer as we go now back. Let's see that one more time here. Loses the brake.
Try to, like a brake failure of Sebastian Vettel.
Point. Albon. Let's go back to the action as we are on board here with Addy Striker, losing a couple positions here to Allboy, but in any case, he has a good gap to P15 Periginator. Let's see if there's any other close fighting up on board. Looks like Bottsville is on the back of SP for that final points position. Isotin locking up in front as well. All three drivers right on the back of each other. And Ramacron is lost positions now. As SP goes quite wide on that AstroTurf, trying to maintain traction. That obviously does not provide the grip you might want to have. But for now, they all have DRS and will maintain positions for now. Do you have anything to... Oh, I take that back. Bottsville is trying to go up the inside of SP, who tries to give him a little bit of a squeeze into the braking zone, but falls in back behind. But Bottsville goes wide, has the inside line, though, and will be able to maintain the position for now. It looks like that Blue Cow is getting involved as well. Ooh! And into the back of Bottsville, into the Sector 3, and that causes a spin. Not at all what you want to see there.
Ramacron with damage to his front right, so he is going to be pitting for a new week.
Wow, what an incredible change to the race. Like I said, he was definitely the favorite to do well as we go on board with Enoch. Let me go from positions gained to maybe we can take a look at what tires they are choosing to sport. But Ramacron falling well down the order, trying to get that pit stop maybe in a bit earlier to repair his wing and get onto those medium tires.
Yeah, he's going to need some help, I think, from a safety car to get through the field.
Let's go on board here with Allboy and SP battling it out once more. Addy Striker getting involved as well. But all three of them are in line. But Addy Striker and SP losing the rears just a bit, battling for that position. And they are struggling to get past one another at the moment. And SP hangs on to P10. Let's go back on board with Enoch. That is a close battle here. All three drivers relatively close to one another here in the battle for the lead. The fight for track position is oh so important at this point in the race. And I do have that saved replay of the incident with Bottsville, but we'll wait to a moment break in action to take a review of that footage. Looks like Shiv is able to open that gap just a bit. We'll go back on board here with Addy Striker. Let's see if he can get a move done with DRS assistance coming out of turn 18. He's already right on the gearbox and side by side almost before DRS is activated, so this should be a very easy overtake. Already moving up in front of the McLaren driver before the braking zone, and that is quite easily done. The power of DRS around this track is quite significant. And Big Poppy, though, is now close up behind Karen Smith as we see a number of time penalties coming in through the steward's box. Let's see how many these drivers will accumulate. We're only on lap 9, so we have only a third of the way through, 2/3 left to go.
Yeah, I think we've only had around like 4 or 5 laps of actual racing, so these time penalties will start to ramp in as we see even more come in as the drivers are pushing the boundaries.
Yeah, Nihai, are you having any problems on Twitch at all? Having to refresh, or is it just me? My little hacking going wrong?
It's working fine for me.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
I'm doing quite well.
That's okay. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't kind of annoy the Russian government too much with my Vegemite trying to run customs. But yeah, anyway.
Well, they're probably monitoring your computer, so they're using a little more bandwidth.
Luis Maya is into the pits from the lead as Big Poppy and Karen Smith are now side by side. Big Poppy, having DRS, gets that overtake done quite easily and moves up into P4 at the moment. Accumulating a few warnings, though. We'll see if Karen Smith can fight back around this long left-hander of turn 3, trying to tuck in behind for that little bit of slipstream, but not quite close enough to make a challenge. He'll wait for the next DRS straight at the end of Sector 2. You can just tell he seems to have gained much more better exits. Maybe he's preserved those tires just a bit more than the Ferrari up ahead, both Ferrari-powered vehicles, and very similar in race pace.
Our race leader, Luis Maya, pitting on the 9th or 10th lap for hards, so he's looking to go to the end, I'm guessing.
So maybe Ramakran is going for a 2-stop potentially, or maybe he thinks he can make those mediums last. That is very interesting. You can tell the difference. They're 4 positions apart, so not all that much really, but that's 4 positions are separated by over 20 seconds. Well, nearly 20 seconds, I guess I would say.
Yeah, after the Twitch world there, Stevie Gaming, you've been watching a lot of Alliant Motorsports. In fact, I think Stevie Gaming is the actual #1 fan at the moment of Alliant Sports. He gets his tickets, he buys his tickets to every single one of the races. Stevie, give us your prediction out there, please. We'd like to hear from you as you're an important VIP member. And I hope you're enjoying the hospitality suite and champagne or everything you need, and the meals and the food. Yeah. So let us know. You are in the Paddock Pass, I believe. You're the Paddock Pass member. So
I'm pretty sure he's considered an employee of the month. I know he spends a good bit of productivity watching the races, so thank you very much for that. As Earl Jenkins now going past Big Poppy, well, I take that back. I got the Alfa Romeos mixed up. Both are doing quite well at the moment, yet to pit, however, so they will fall down the order shortly. Ramakran staying consecutive fastest laps with those fresh medium tires. Bottsville getting past SP in P11. So a bit of movement further down, and we just are waiting for these top 5 drivers to dive into the pits. Could be interesting. Hopefully Jenkins and Karen are kind of working together on this. They don't want to be held up by each other going into the pits. That would be a quite disastrous turn of events for Alfa Romeo. But you never do know what might happen. Let's look here. Looks like Luis Maya in P10 is now catching up to a number of drivers who have yet to pit or pitted on that first lap, and he will have DRS, but that DRS train will make it so hard to overtake. Plus, he has hard tires, so the pace advantage might not be there quite at the moment.
And the leader might change at the moment as they're boxing. But anyway, Stevie Gaming has come back and said, "Shiv for the win," quote end quote. There you have it.
There we have it. Indeed. Just see all 4 of these cars winding through Sector 3 at the moment. Nose to tail. a centipede if you wish. It looks like Luis Maya should get a very good exit out of turn 18 down the long start finish straight. We'll have a good slipstream. Go on board with him. Isaac's pulling away though already, maybe using that overtake button a bit earlier than Luis is, though he is on the overtake juice as well, injecting that into his car's veins, but not close enough. We'll have to turn that off. But Isaac makes a bit of a mistake on those medium tires, locking up just a bit, trying to go to the outside to defend, and Luis Maya trying to go up the inside, but those curbs don't provide the traction that you want. Isaac switching back up in front and is able to take the position, but Luis Maya gets a really good exit, and Isaac, with that red light flashing, harvesting that ERS back to what he had. But Luis Maya is definitely carrying way more speed through these corners than his competitor, and he should get a good, as Isaacson does go wide. Almost a bit of contact there, able to avoid it. Well done by the Williams driver. He moves up into P6 already. We'll go back on board with Enoch, who has just pitted as well, looking to capitalize on that position. Isaacson maybe a bit flustered from all of the traffic.
Addy Striker making the move on Alboy as well, so he's back up into P4.
As Enoch are going side by side with Isaacson into the braking zone, locks up a bit, but well done. Judges that braking point well, and unlike Hansumi earlier, who forgot his brakes, it does not end up into the wall and is on P7. So Enoch is actually in a great position right now to capitalize. He has the faster tire, pitted one lap later, and is right on the back of Luis. Yep. And four of the drivers in front have to pit already, so they are in P2 and P3 at the moment.
I wonder what they're injecting into their car veins, because, wow.
Is that ERS?
I've never heard that before, sir. Our craft was going car veins. Wow. You got all the words. You do it, so this is exciting. And and then I've heard 2 words that I've never heard in my ears ever, I think, in my life.
Arcraft says, ooh. I'm not sure what's ooh about that, but your car has many veins, if you were unaware of that. Fuel lines, oil lines, hoses.
That's true, actually.
It's like a fuel. Think of it as a fuel additive.
So, Professor Dr. Ezzy has hooked it all up there.
That's official, by the way. That's official title. That is the official title. Supreme Leader has a bad rap in this day and age, unfortunately.
You don't want to be in either one of those.
You don't want to perform an autopsy on any of these race cars at the moment, do you? You want to see them in all one piece crossing the line.
For sure. Enoch not able to close up that gap quite right now. Able to maintain it, however, so maybe he's waiting for that DRS to get an overtake, losing the rear just a bit. Both drivers are losing the rears as they are trying to accelerate out of these rather slow corners. Let's go on board now with Shiv right on the back of Earl Jenkins. Again, different tire compounds, so it seems like there are varying beliefs within these drivers of how well these mediums and hard tires will make it to the end. Earl Jenkins just a bit slow, but Shiv not able to capitalize at the moment as Eddie Striker's in the pits. We'll see where he comes out. As we'll go back on board with Enoch, side by side with Luis into the braking zone. Maybe just a bit of a touch, but fairly clean. And Luis cedes that position. Enoch up into P3. And both Alboy and Big 11's yet to pit, so he has the provisional lead of the race at the moment. So that is a net race change on the lap 14, halfway there, and he's already pulling away from Luis.
Yeah, he's in a great position as long as we don't have any more virtual safety cars or a full safety car.
For sure, a safety car would be just what Big Levins would love right now. That would allow him to get a free pit stop and potentially stay in the lead of this race. So I don't know if, let's see, a Renault. There's only one Renault left to go into the wall, and we're not in Singapore, so it might not happen.
That's a big statement you're calling out for Big Lovins if you're going to get into the big dilemma of this race. But I'm loving it. How's that?
Better.
You didn't tell me you got sponsored by McDonald's.
Oh, no. It's only FedEx, man. It's only FedEx. At the moment, the FedEx award is going to our Addy Striker in P10.
I thought you did say I'm loving it, but maybe I misheard. As Ramacron still in P9, now catching up to his own teammate Bottsville, and looks like he maybe can get an overtake done with DRS assistance. Louise is maybe able to maintain that gap with Enoch less than half a second, as Ramacron is once again setting a fastest lap, so he is pumping those in as best as he can, so consecutively, gaining 5
He's pumping
positions.
him into his veins. Yep, go ahead.
He's gained 5 positions since he had to pit, but unable to get the overtake done on his teammate at the moment.
Look at the Williams driver running in P4 or over the back there of the racing point.
So, although overtaken, he is trying to regain that position, and it's going to be really interesting to see when these drivers in front pit. I expect Big Lovins probably to pit here within the next 3 laps. If I had to guess, that would let him run softs to the end and be one of the fastest drivers on the track. As Ramacron does get past Bottsville and is up into P8.
Interesting too, Albo is looking to get that FedEx time penalty award at the moment, running in P2 and 6 seconds penalties. He has to split that award right now with Addy Striker. So, but that's something he does not want to be when he's running in P2 at the moment.
Indeed. I think the DRS straight will be Louise's best chance to get this overtake done coming in the next 2 corners.
So we're at the halfway point, 15 of 27, give or take. Still lots and lots of race as Ramacron moves past his teammate. So team orders are in play there with the Haas drivers.
And let's see if Louise, he is 7/10 down. I don't think that's close enough to get any action, as Enoch is able to close that gap to Allboy in front. That DRS will help him defend over the next lap or 2. Looking down the order, Shiv is the closest battle that we have with Earl Jenkins here. And Karen Smith, the other Alfa Romeo, who was up near the lead of the race for earlier in the day, is now down to P11, just outside the point. So we'll need to close a 6-second gap to get back up into P10. Actually, let's go on board with Isoton here. That's the closest battle on track. What were you going to say, Bagels?
Is my telemetry correct? Has Lewis dropped to P4?
Louise, yes. Louise is in P4 as SP goes a bit wide through turn 18, and Isoton is easily through. Will have DRS as well. Easy overtake. Both Mercedes are now next to one another, and really, Enoch is really closed up to Allboy now and should get an overtake done here momentarily. You can just tell by the engine noises how those drivers are being so careful on the throttle through these twisty corners of Sector 3. Those walls that you see left and right, it looks like Allboy is going to dive into the pits. He's not willing to fight with Enoch and lose any time. He will go into the pits on lap 17 and get some tires. It'll be, see, Big Lovins. He have to pit soon. Those are 16-lap-old mediums. Allboy had enough after 14 laps, so that is a very, very interesting bit of information there. We'll see how that changes the race, where he comes out of. Let's see here. Allboy
Softs.
is on softs, currently in P9. Let's see if he comes.
And the
stays.
softs go to the end. That's a, that's a tall
easily.
order,
It's
isn't
only
it?
no 10 laps. 10 laps should be fine
Fine.
with soft tires. Looks like he comes out just ahead of. Well, just behind
Addy Striker.
Just behind Addy Striker in P10. So
Yeah.
loses a number of positions, 8 positions there with that pit stop. And the Big Lovins will probably lose something similar. I would expect him to pit sooner rather than later. That tire delta will be very, very significant.
But he has 6 seconds of naughtiness, so he has to get on with it. If
Yes.
He wants to maybe.
Accounting for loss, yes, that's correct. He did do a 2-stop strategy, soft, medium, soft. Sorry to interrupt you, Biggles. Go ahead.
No, yeah, you're right, exactly. Soft, medium, soft. But he's just like, he has 6 seconds of penalties. So he served his time out, and now he has to get on with it with those fresh tires and make up for lots of work. You can see it here at the moment. Looks like about 3 seconds behind Addy Striker, but he's the first driver on the soft tire compound. So let's get an idea of the pace that he's going to be able to perform with those fresh boots.
Indeed. Looking.
Yeah. Most importantly right now, I think, is that Luis is just outside of DRS range with Enoch. So
Big Lovins does pit now. So let us see where he comes out. Took those medium tires 17 laps will most likely go to the softs here, I would hope. Has to trundle all the way down to the very end of the pit lane with those, well, since Williams is the worst team in Formula 1, and will come out currently P7. Let's see where he comes out. Looks like Botswell comes back. Addy Striker will go by. All Boy is, this could be very tight. All Boy is just coming around behind as well. Let us see. Not close enough, however. So Big Levins comes out P9, and he is very close to Addy Striker. So he should be able to move up a few positions here with that tire advantage.
Is this the call for softs right now? The only drivers at the moment that still need to box there is Romacron running 9 laps, can go to the end, as you mentioned earlier, but Botsville running a P7, going to have struggling a lot on 16 laps on those hards, and is running almost 2 seconds a lap slower than the other drivers on the other different, shall we say, softer tire compound.
Let's go on board here with Blue Cow, as Romacron gets a 3-second penalty, so that could be very, very interesting. He's up into P5 right now, and see if Blue Cow can get a move done on his teammate. Thank you very much to Bahowell, TB Howell, for the follow. Appreciate that. Hope you are enjoying the stream. Well, looks like he's not able to close the gap at the moment. Shiv, however, is back behind Earl Jenkins. We'll have DRS here coming out of turn 18, but you can just see that the car ahead be able to pull away, and it's just so hard to reel him back in despite the length of the start-finish straight, and it's just unable to be done. However, looks like Louise is now fighting back with Enoch. It may be that the soft and mediums are having a bit of an overlap with pace at the moment, so that could be very, very interesting over the next 6 laps.
Seeing just laps. A couple. Yeah, I've been watching the onboard with Enoch and Luis over the past couple of laps, and Enoch is just locking up a bit and going a bit wide in some of the corners. So we're seeing Luis on point on almost every apex, so he has been able to close that gap back up within DRS zone.
It's so hard to stay focused over a 50% race. A lot of times you do 5 lappers, sometimes you do 3 lappers, 25%, but very rarely do you practice a 50% race, and just the amount of concentration it takes, especially when you're driving with a number of other people around you. You have to worry about collisions, teammates, tire strategies, all that type of thing. It really can take a mental toll. So you might be seeing a bit of fatigue here by the Enoch. See if he can hang on, recollect his thoughts, as we have a yellow flag. Looking to see who that be. It's a Williams. It is Big Lovins. Let's see where he is. Does he have damaged front wing? Looks like his front right end plate is missing. Looks like he has severe damage, and he was probably pushing far harder than he should have been with those soft tires, and that is a dagger to the heart of his strategy. But Shiv is right on the back of Earl Jenkins. With that DRS assistance, he will move up past the Rent. Alfa Romeo is a bit braver on the brakes with those superior tires, able to retake that position, but will have a worse exit out of that corner. Shiv will have the inside line going around the outside of Earl Jenkins, around turn 3 into turn 4, and has that position back. Good bit of racing there between those two. And Shiv does get that position and moves up into that last podium spot. 3 seconds back. I don't know if he can close that gap, but he's in the podium. Stevie will be happy in chat.
And with 8 laps to go as well, who wants to be the man on the top step to shake the hands of the Russian president? I'm sure if he's the president or premier of Mr. Putin as well.
Prime Minister.
He'll be happy to give you that trophy on the top step and keep you and give you safe passage out of the country as well.
That's probably more valuable than anything else.
I'm sorry to our fellow Russian people out there. We're just making fun puns. It's okay. We have plenty of them for the United States, but I'll keep that for when we arrive into Texas and meet Ezzy as well.
Yeah. Shiv is drifting.
Is he?
Turn 14 and 15.
Well, he's doing all he can to keep his elbows out. Earl Jenkins definitely has a bit of pace behind, although he did overtake him. We'll have DRS here. This could be very interesting. Ramacron just out of DRS range, however, right behind him as well. Let's see if he's close enough to get that move done. down to 3/10. I don't think he switches off, overtakes. Shiv does take the inside line just to defend, holds his car on the apex just a bit, a little bit of a pro
Alboy's in the
move.
wall.
And Alboy is in the wall?
I don't see that.
No.
No, Alboy is not in the wall.
Oh, wrong race. No. My telemetry's all messed up.
Yeah.
My apologies. Go ahead.
You need to reload.
Maybe you were seeing Blue Cow. Looks like Blue Cow was going very slow through Sector 3. He might have had
Let's go on board with him, see if he has damage. No, he does not, so maybe he's a different driver. Let's go on board here with Ramacron. He's caught up to the battling Earl Jenkins and Shiv, and although battling for that P3, they might get it taken away by that Haas driver, who is a man on the mission, does have a good bit of race pace. However, his tires will definitely be approaching the end of their life, so he needs to be very, very careful to keep those. As he locks up, that's not going to help his cause, but he's right on the gearbox of Earl Jenkins at the moment.
Yeah, he'll get that DRS.
But Earl Jenkins will have DRS as well, so Shiv is the odd man out here. He'll need to save up his overtake button and use it all down the start-finish straight if he wants to have any chance to defend, or he might get overtaken by not one but two drivers.
Come on, Shiv.
Both Earl Jenkins and Ramacron locking up as well, and that allows Shiv to get a pretty decent exit. And now Earl Jenkins is the man who will have to defend, but both the DRS makes an overtake nearly impossible at the moment. And Shiv looks like he will live to survive another day. Everyone locking up, though. I don't know if tire wear is coming to be an issue, but they are leaving loads and loads of rubber on the track.
Yeah, Shiv, a fellow commentator as well.
As
so
Ramacron tries to go on the inside of Earl Jenkins, spins the car, bit of a contact there. Not that fault at all, I would say. And he is going to lose a number of positions from that. Let's go to the replay. Let's see here. We'll go to the replay. Trying a bit of a dive up the inside. Space is left. He just doesn't brake early enough, misses his braking point, and that just a bit of contact sets him off the track, and he is now out of this race.
I have done that many a times. In fact, I usually do that in lap 1 or 2. So good job for Ramacron to not do that. He let 22, but you got to go for it, right? You're a driver. It's drive to survive.
It's tempting.
Seize all the opportunities.
It is tempting indeed, but ill-advised at the end of the day. Space was left there by the Alfa Romeo and just missed the braking point. Wasn't able to slow that car fast enough, as fast as you would have wanted on those 13-lap-old medium tires. As
So
Earl
the
Jenkins
strategy-
has just a moment there, does well to maintain control of his vehicle and is still on the back of Shiv.
So to give you an idea on those soft compounds, you can see they're running in P6 there. That's Alboy. He has the best lap, and his last lap was a 1:35. He's now the fastest man on the track with those tires. However, he's 18 seconds off the leader, and as you can see, he's fallen a little bit behind the big puppy that's the Ferrari driver. And yes, that is a Ferrari running in P5.
As Bottsville has pitted, getting rid of those 22-lap-old hards, is now on fresh softs himself. So interesting. I would have thought he might have pitted earlier if he was going to go for a two-stop strategy. But yeah, we missed a number of overtakes here by Alboy, moving up the order quite well with his soft tires.
Yeah, we have a question in the chat for you, Biggles, on the penalty situation with the top 10. But I'd be interested to see what the penalties are like within the top 5 at least. Looks like they're all within a good 6 seconds of each other.
As Earl Jenkins and Shiv are battling it out. Sorry, we will get back to in a moment. Earl Jenkins trying to go up the inside, but Shiv able to hold him out, as the McLaren in the background there, Pereginator, I do believe that was, probably got too excited watching the action up front and just lost traction on the rear and is into the wall. So very, very unfortunate for him. Maybe that was SP actually. I might take that back.
Was it SP?
I believe
Was
that
SP twitching and driving? Go ahead, please.
Twitching and driving sounds like something that's illegal, as Earl Jenkins does go around the outside and gets that position back. Well done move there, getting past the Red Bull. What a fight that was. And let's go now up board with Luis Maya, who's right on the back of Enoch. Those hards may now be faster than those mediums. So what is the penalties position that we have up near the front?
Yeah, my apologies for missing that. I had to keep refreshing. Something's going wrong. And once again, I'm in Russia, so I think I'm being spied on by the KGB. Aside from that, 3 seconds time penalties for our race leader there, the Racing Point driver there, Ivanov. So big trouble for him. Further down, the other 3 drivers behind, Lewis, Earl, and Siv, all Shriv, sorry, all okay there. Big Puppy is also Big Puppy's P5. No, Big Puppy's got 3 seconds of big problems, and 6 seconds further to Alboy that is currently running in P6, and Addy Striker, he's going to be striking for that FedEx award at the rate he's going.
He is always one of the drivers to watch. He's always looking to bring that reward home. I don't think he realizes it's not the reward. It's not a reward you want. He's always happy to add them to his shelf. I think he already has 2 or 3 this season, as Enoch is definitely losing the rears on those medium tires. 12 lap old now, only has to survive 2 more laps. We'll see if he's able to do so. Definitely is using
with
ERS.
3 seconds penalties as well. He has to get that lead up.
So Louise and Earl Jenkins and Shiv do not have penalties?
No, they do not.
So that is well done from them, and it's just going to be crucial that they do not pick up one over these next 2 laps. As Earl Jenkins does pick up one, he is now has a 3-second penalty, and that could be huge for Shiv, who now only has to stay. It's in with 1 second now. Only has to stay within 3 seconds to get that last podium position. But Enoch is just struggling. It's the only word I can say right now. He is locking up through most corners, struggling for traction out of those corners. We'll see how long he can stay ahead.
Yeah, the consistency from Luis has been incredible. He's just been constantly bringing down that gap by maybe a tenth over a couple laps. So he's just been consistently putting in good lap times and getting closer and closer to Enoch.
But Enoch is, I don't know if maybe he has a much less downforce setup, or he's saving up all his DRS to use on the straights, because Luis gets within half a second in these DRS zones, but is unable to close that gap even with the aid of DRS. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. Maybe he is just looking to... Looks like he's using his overtake button right now, but he doesn't seem to have any. Maybe it's stuck on. That could be an issue.
Yeah, I thought that was a bug, but it might be a bug on his end as well, where he can't actually turn it off.
So he may be out of ERS, and that is hurting his chances. Enoch doesn't have that issue, it appears, as we have... Whoa! Earl Jenkins is out of the race. I'm looking to see, there is his car on the left-hand side of the road, obliterated into the wall. And that is a sad, sad end to the race for the Alfa Romeo driver, who's really doing quite brilliantly so far in battling for that podium position. That is tragic to see, as we now only have a lap and a half to go.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening with Shiv either.
Let's see if I can see. Shiv is disconnected, is on the side of the road.
I think there might have been contact between Earl and Shiv, and he's...
Is he also damaged? He's lost a bunch of his front wing. Addy Striker get past. He's in horrible shape. I don't know if pitting is worth it right now. He is 24 seconds back to Karen Smith. Maybe he can survive, but both the Red Bull and the Alfa Romeo in one sector having horror moments, and that is a tragic end to their race as it is. But Luis is still now on the back of Enoch, and is, even though he doesn't necessarily need to do an overtake on track, is looking to get one done as best and quickly as he can. Only 1 lap to go as they are about to cross the start-finish line, and we are on the final lap of the Russian Grand Prix. This is the closest Luis has been all evening. He gets DRS. Will that be enough? You can see him closing the gap. I don't think it will, though. Trying to maybe look toward the inside. Enoch locking up, but not close enough. He'll just need to keep his nose clean through the end of this race.
Yeah, he knows. Jeff has told him on the radio he's going to win this race right now. All he has to do is remain in P2, but I've known this from race engineering. You can't tell drivers what to do. These guys don't listen to you. They want to get past and they want to be the first person across the line.
Yes, indeed. That's where strategy comes into play. Get on the phone to Jeff, figure out what's going on, and he might have a position option here. Enoch locking up, going wide, trying to defend his line as best as he can, and able to hold on to P1 for now. This is the closest battle. Shiv does go into the pits with 1 lap to go, and he will be lucky to hang on to a point right now. He is in P10 as he's exiting the pits. Hopefully he can stay ahead of Bob in the Renault driver. We'll see what happens there as the leading drivers are in Sector 3. It's also imperative for Luis to keep his nose clean here. Enoch has the job on track. Luis doesn't have a penalty though.
Yeah, top 3 looking like podiums.
Nearly caught the corner. And Louise does get past Enoch there at the final stretch. Shiv does come out in P10. Big Poppy, who had a very quiet race, I must say, is going to cross the line in P3. All Boy crosses now P4. Addy Striker, P5.
Watch, Addy Striker is going to drop a lot here. Can he drop enough? I think he still might be comfortable in P5.
I think
yes,
so.
Is.
He's 16 seconds back, so that would be quite an impressive feat if he loses a position. Let's see, however.
Karen Smith is safe.
And that he is safe. Looks like Big Lovins. Let's go on board here with Bob. I don't know what his penalty situation is. He is within 3 seconds, though, of the driver in front, so something might happen if he is able to...
Bob's got 12 seconds.
His nose
Bob's in trouble.
clean. Oh, Bob has 12 seconds, so that is not good news for him.
No.
Blue Cow then might be able to take advantage of the situation. Instead, we'll see as they cross the line. And Bob is currently there. Go on with Blue Cow as he crosses the line. Blue Cow is the last driver to cross the line. And that is the end. Not quite enough to move up into the points. P11, oh so close indeed. And Isoton is driver of the day. He is well up into the points. Let's see where he finished. But what a race. A very, very tight finish between those front two. As thank you very much, you bald cold jelly. Great nickname. Thank you very much for the follow. Hope you enjoyed that as we have a Williams, a Ferrari, and a Mercedes on the podium today. Very, very
So the Brazilian
surprising.
driver wins there, Ezzy. How do you say congratulations in Brazil? Brazilian.
Portuguese.
Or Portuguese.
Portuguese?
Yeah.
No idea.
Oh. I actually don't know as well, but I'm sure Luis does know.
Uh-huh. Oh, it's his name and username. So is it Ubaldo Coldagelli? Am I right there? Let me know. Any case, it's both a great actual name and a fun nickname, so it works both ways. Let's see if we can take a look at the leaderboard here. The game is having a bit of a fun time at the moment. Hopefully it will load here. Oh, I got it right. Glad to hear it. Well, thank you very much for letting me know, and very much appreciate the follow. Aha! Italian. So Ferrari on the podium brings you joy in your heart.
Go ahead. Sorry. I had to do it.
That's fine, as it looks like that might be all that we see. Yes, it looks like we have a bit of a host issue, so we won't be able to run through the final standings here. But in any case, we will be bringing you some interviews with those top drivers. So definitely stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We will be back in just one moment with some of our heroes on the track today, see what they have to say about the race. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the interviews. What a wild race, a crazy first start to the race down that start finish straight. Let's go ahead and start here with Bottsville. That was a bit of mayhem at the beginning. Were you caught up in
Yeah,
any of that?
yeah, I was actually. So I what's it called? So I started P9. I had a good start, got up to P6, and went in between two cars. And that's when the carnage started happening. When I saw the one guy go off track and hit the wall, and then he clipped the guy that was on my left side, and then my wing got damaged. So that's where sort of I kind of got caught in.
Well,
Yeah.
you definitely were able to fight well throughout the race. Um, Next week, I'm just taking a look at the schedule here. We are going from Russia instead all the way to Hungary. That is definitely an interesting track. Any thoughts on Hungary?
It's a really great track. I love it. It's one of my favorites in the calendar. It's one of this one, Sochi and Hungary are some of the tracks I feel most comfortable in, and hopefully I might be able to get a good result for next week.
All right. Well,
Yep.
best of luck. Thanks for giving us a quick rundown. That was an exciting start to the race, and it was stayed exciting throughout.
All right.
Congratulations and best of luck in Hungary.
Thank you. GG, guys.
All right, bit of Lando Norris speak there at the end. And let us, our next interview, let's go on board with Big Poppy. Almost really didn't have much to say, a bit of a quiet drive, I would say, except for maybe a moment or two there. But you popped up in P3.
Yeah, I thought was a really good start at the very beginning, and then the safety car came out. I went from P4 to I think P1 or fighting for P1, and then ended up P2. Got stuck behind Lewis, and I guess I got a little impatient and hit him a little bit and spun myself out. So then I was in the middle of nowhere for most of the race, and the guys ahead of me had DRS I think almost the whole time, so I couldn't catch them. And by the end of the race, I was just trying to defend against Alboy on the sauce behind me, but luckily he didn't catch me. And then I got lucky at the end with the two guys crashing out ahead of me.
Yes, definitely, but a well-deserved podium position. Congratulations on that. And Ferrari on the podium. We had a number of fans rejoicing in the chat, so I'm sure you have many people excited about your race today.
It feels bad to get points for Ferrari though, when I usually am a Red Bull driver in the other league.
In any case, congratulations and best of luck.
Thanks.
All right. Now we are left. Let's go here with Enoch. What a battle that you had there at the end with Louise. Those medium tires, you definitely seem to be struggling. How bad were they?
They were really fine until like the last 3 laps. Then they didn't really go off a cliff, but I just had to manage them a little bit more. But yeah, Luis kept up with me really, really good. I think the problem with him was the setup, because even with DRS, he only made up like 1.5 tenths on me. So
Well, we will get to him in a moment. He had a bit of a glitch, I believe, with his car. But in any case, you only had 3 seconds of time penalties, so it must kind of sting that ended up costing you the win.
yeah, I got them after the first pit stops. I had to overtake Luis because he was on hards and I was on mediums. I wanted to do it as quick as I could, and I made a few silly mistakes, and yeah, I got a penalty. But at least I got my first podium, so
Yes, congratulations. That is definitely a big achievement.
thank you.
Congratulations and best of luck next week in Hungary.
Thank you.
All right, final interview of the day will be with our race winner, Louise. Went for hards instead of mediums. Was there any kind of reasoning behind doing that?
Yeah, what up, guys? What a dramatic race. Yes, there was a reason because, as you said, I had a glitch since the start of the race. My overtake button was on the whole time and I couldn't get it off. So at every lap, at the end of the pit straight, my battery was completely wasted. and I had no more battery power throughout the remaining of the lap. So during the first safety car after the start, I tried to reset the buttons configuration, but that didn't work. So when I saw that the guys were closing on, I decided to make a early pit stop and put on the hards. That was not the intention. I would pit a bit later and put the mediums. That would be the original strategy, but I just decided to pit and expect that it could solve my glitch resetting the MFD, but it didn't work as well. So I continued through the whole race with the overtake button on the whole time. And then Enoch overtook me, and I just tried to keep as close as possible to him. I really didn't have any chance of overtaking him because I had no battery power. So even with on rich fuel mix and with DRS open, I just couldn't get past him. So I decided to just stay very close to him. Grabbing the opportunity to keep the DRS and get away from the guys behind. That initially worked, and then when I saw that the gap was increasing from the guys behind, I thought, well, there might be an opportunity, so I'll just try to keep as close as possible to this guy, force him to push as much as possible, and see if the tires might prejudice him a bit at the end of the race, and I can get the chance. And well, that worked.
Well,
But
well,
yeah, that was very dramatic.
Yes.
Because I wouldn't expect him to have a penalty because I was kind of observing Enoch driving, and I wouldn't see him pushing beyond the track limit. So I really wouldn't expect him to have a penalty, and I was kind of glad already with the second place, even with this glitch. But at the end, it paid out.
Well, congratulations. That is your first win of the year. And with that, Williams takes a commanding lead in the Constructors' Championship, and you maintain your lead in the Drivers' Championship. So congratulations, and best of luck next week.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
All right, that is all our interviews today. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch the race with us. That is our final Russian Grand Prix of the year. Be sure to tune in Thursday at 8:30 Eastern for our race Division 2 in Spain, and then Division 1 will be on Saturday in Singapore. So we are bringing you all different tracks through each division this week, bring a little bit of spice and variety to you guys this week. Hope you guys enjoy it, and the drivers seem to be enjoying it so far. 2 excellent races in Russia, and Division 2 and Division 1 will have a steep hill to climb to keep up the level of entertainment that we've experienced so far. Thank you guys so much for the follows as well. Elixel, thank you very much for the follow. And every one of you who takes the time on this Tuesday evening to watch it. Then again, thanks to all our drivers, and of course to Biggles and Nihai here in the booth with me. You guys helped me out a bunch and definitely make the race even more entertaining for the drivers and for the fans. Be sure to tune in as well next Tuesday as we travel to Hungary in Division 3.1, and Sunday will be our first race in Hungary with Division 3.2. All races are at 8:30 Eastern Time, so make sure to have that on your calendar. Until then, best of luck, take care, have a great rest of your week. See you Thursday or next week. Enjoy the outro music, and see you next time.